Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone that taught me this truth and rule well. And I want to say Shalom to you Akim and Akwath out there pursuing this truth diligently. Coming at you once again with another lesson. Alright, today's video is kind of a response or a reply to the elder apostle Tahar's video that he made, alright, yesterday. This was on August 12th that he put this out, and it's entitled, It's Here, GMS was always right. Alright, and what this video, what he says in this video, alright, is, I'll play a little bit of it, alright. Go ahead and play a little bit of it. Alright.
It's here. It's here. GMS was always right.
This is correct. It's true.
Great Millstone was always right. It's here.
Yeah, still you got these other camps that aren't buying it.
It's here.
These wacky Israelites that ain't following it, alright, when it's right in front of your eyes.
Anyway, I subscribe to this YouTube page, redacted. With Natalie and Clayton Morris. This is Clayton Morris, and you have his wife, Natalie, not in the picture. This was put up today. Actually, it was put up about an hour ago. Today's date is August 12th, 2022, year of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash, turning up because Rakakwadash is turning up as well because they work synergistically with the Most High and His beloved Son. This is the prophecy that I always mention, that the kingdom will not come, the destruction will not come, the lake of fire will not come until this prophecy is fulfilled. GMS was always right. Great Millstone was always right. IUIC, you better be watching this. This is all the receipts you need. ISUPK and whoever else has been bucking up against the true men of the Lord. I pray. We have to be. This is why we say we have 100% truth. So the name of the video is entitled, This is really effed up, redacted with Natalie and Clayton Morris. And that's all I'm going to say. So watch this video and come back and see me on the comment board. This is it. Look, it's here. With that, I'm gonna say shalom.
All right. So as you heard from the elder apostle Tahar, all right, want you to go and watch this video, all right, because this video, all right, and we're gonna get into it, all right. Now I believe he didn't. I'm not sure the exact reason he didn't put up. It may have been that it's always iffy to do topics like this, because he gets mad, all right, on YouTube, and we'll take your page down, all right. So I'm not 100% sure, but I believe that's why the elder apostle said to go and watch the video instead of just posting it. All right. Well, I'm gonna go into it. All right. I may or may not get a strike. I don't know. I think I'm just getting out of a strike, but you know, I wanted to touch on this. All right. I wanted to grab a few scriptures. All right. Of course. Basically grab a few scriptures talking about this. All right, and then, you know, basically let some of the video play. I don't know if we're gonna go through all of it, but you know, so you know, and then, you know, maybe we'll grab some maybe we'll grab some comments from the comment board as well. Or do I want to do that now? All right. Well, no, we're gonna start off with a scripture. All right, scripture that YouTube really does not like. All right, but we're gonna grab it anyway because it's prophecy. All right, and we're gonna get it anyway. All right, they strike the channel, they strike the channel. All right, I got other ones. All right, at off-site, on-site. All right, some way the truth's gonna come out of you. So you can take these videos down. It ain't gonna help your cause any. This is Revelation 3 and Revelation 13 and 16, 13 and 18. And it reads, "And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name." Verse 18, "Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is a number of a man, and his number is 666. All right. So if we where was it? Right here, the first verse, lock you. All right, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. All right, there's a little thing, all right, called Neuralink. All right, and it says Neuralink, is this by Elon Musk. Neuralink Corporation is a neurotechnology. Neuro means in the brain. All right, neuroscience, neurosurgeon. All right, so this basically means brain link. All right, is a neurotechnology company that develops implantable brain-machine interfaces, microchips, co-founded by Elon Musk, Max Haddock, and Paul Morella. All right, and blah, blah, blah. All right, with OpenAI. All right, if we go to if we go to images, all right, it's a microchip. All right, it's a chip implant. All right, that goes into your skull. All right, into your brain. All right. And I believe they've already began testing it. All right, I think they were testing it on apes. More than likely, I think they're doing human trials now. All right, and these things have passed off. It's a good thing that they're going to be up. Let's see if we go to I don't even want to go on their page, but if you go right here, all right, it's supposed to help people. They said that it could even I believe one time they said it could even maybe reverse paralysis. So Neuralink is dedicated to developing a device that, once implanted in the human brain, would allow a computer to translate a person's thought into actions, eventually allowing the individual to do anything we do today through typing, pressing buttons, and manipulating a mouse or joystick, simply by thinking about blah, 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 blah. Simply by thinking about what they're doing, all right? If you want to press the button, you think about it, and it'll press. All right, so that's what that is, and we're not going to go and talk about Neuralink a whole bunch, all right? I just wanted to grab that as well because some of these people will be like, well, it says right hand or in their foreheads. All right, now not only could the RFID be implanted in your right hand or your forehead, all right, you're also going to have these devices like Neuralink, all right, as well. So I just wanted to throw that out there in case that would, so that doesn't become a stumbling block to anybody. All right, so once again, we're going to read it once again, 13 and 16, Revelation 13 and 16, and he calls us all, both small and great, all right, so small and great, rich and poor, so it doesn't matter your status, free and bond, so people that are free and people that are, under bondage, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man may buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is a number of a man, and his number is 666. All right. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna play a little bit of Slovakia. We're going to play a little bit of this video, and we'll close this one out, all right? Tawada, to Yahweh Shemiah Shai for bringing that to the apostles' attention, all right? And Tawada to the apostle Tahar, all right, for bringing this to our attention, all right? Because without that, I wouldn't have known about this video, all right? I don't personally follow, as you can see, I don't personally follow Redacted, all right? Might have to check some of their stuff out and, maybe follow them, all right? Now, I wanted to, before I play this, no, we're just going to play it. All right, we're just going to play it. And then I want to read one of the comments on here. And then, you know what? I had this up for a reason. I wanted to touch on the comments on there. All right, so we're going to play a little bit of this. All right. So here we go without any further ado.
So I'll ask all of you right now. Let me ask you a question. If the government told you that you needed to get a microchip, not even if that was your choice, you needed to get a microchip implant with all of your health data on it, including vaccine information, vaccine passport information, would you do it, or what would you do? Would you revolt? Would you say absolutely not? We've got so many people here in the chat weighing in on it. I think overwhelmingly the answer is no. This might sound like a conspiracy theory, but it's actually happening. As far back as 2018, NPR had a report that said that microchips are about the size of a single grain of rice and were becoming so popular at the time that one of the main companies producing these microchips, producing them, reported difficulty keeping up with demand because people wanted them so much. They also covered a Bloomberg report.
So while these chips, and I wanna also exclaim this. I'm just gonna go ahead and say the word. All right. So if they do strike this video, that my appeal should go straight through, because I want to get this clear, Esau. All right. In this video, I'm not speaking of vaccines. All right. This video that we are watching. All right. I'm not speaking of vaccines. What I am speaking of, all right, is the RFID. All right. So if you take this down, you can't say it's medical misinformation, because all of the information's right here and it's up on his page. All right. So if you take this video down, it's just some bullshit. All right. So now that I got that clarified, all right, in case you do strike, I should be able to get a repeal. I should be able to get an appeal. All right, because I know you're going to try to claim some type of bullshit on it if you do strike it. All right. So again, like I said, I'm not speaking of that. What we are speaking of is the microchip. All right, not the vaccine. All right. So. And if you give me a strike just for saying the damn word, that's just petty at that point, all right. But we know you probably will. But whatever.
About how these use the same backdoor technology that was being used by the CIA and the Pentagon. Take a listen to this NPR report.
Bloomberg has a big story out today about a tiny microchip, not much bigger than a grain of rice. The chip has been found in the type of computer servers used by at least 30 major American companies, including Apple and major banks. Also, servers used by the Pentagon and the CIA.
The Pentagon and the CIA. Sorry, I cut off there at the end. The Pentagon and the CIA. In fact, Swedish workers were accepting this pre-COVID. In 2017, Swedish workers in Sweden were saying, hey, yeah, we'll go for this because this will make our lives easier. We'll be able to take the subway, be able to ride transit, be able to pay for vending machines and all this stuff. In 2017, a railway company in Sweden began allowing travelers to load their ticket information onto the microchip that was implanted into their bodies. And according to the BBC, railway conductors were then able to use smartphones to detect the chip and confirm the travelers' tickets. And Swedish people went nuts for them and started injecting themselves so they could hop on rail cars faster. And they had a run on these chips and they needed more of them. Now, stop me if you know where this is going. Like railway, paying for transit tickets, that's one thing. But stop me if you know where this is going. Let's take a look at Newsweek. Here's their Newsweek's cover story.
All right. If you listen to that, one should come to mind. I don't even have it pulled up here. Let me grab it over here. All right, one that should come into mind. Slovakia. All right, it's 2nd Esdras 15 and 17. All right, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. All right, once again, 2nd Esdras 15 and 17. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. All right, we want to get down here. All right, we'll read a little bit more. 2nd Esdras 15 and 18. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread, and for great tribulation. All right, so when this 2nd Esdras, when this comes to mind, all right. When they start kicking off, trying to kick off the NWL, all right, in the beginning of, well, not the beginning, all right, because we're already lightly in Jacob's trouble, all right, but when Jacob's trouble really starts kicking off, all right, you're not going to be able to freely move through and fro, all right, throughout cities and travel and go to other cities or other countries or other states, all right. So a man shall desire to go into a city and not be able, all right. So, and then it also speaks of, because of the pride, the cities are going to be troubled, houses being destroyed, all right? And then as well, 2nd Esdras 15:19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, all right? And the modern day sword is the gun, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation, all right? So you're going to get ran up on, all right? And your goods are going to be getting taken from you, all right? If that's in your lot to have that happen, all right? So if you listen to these problems, all right, not being able to go to a city, all right, you're trying to go to a city and you're not able to, all right, people breaking house to house. So if this is happening, all right, it says because of lack of bread, all right, so that means famine, all right. So these devices, all right, that are being spoken of, all right, the M to the O to the T to the B, we've already said it, all right, the RFID, all right, CHIP, all right, it doesn't even matter at this point if we try to get around it. They're just going to take it down if they take it down. I might upload this to my alternate page and just post a video directing you to there. We'll see how it goes. So these things that are happening, all right, that are being spoken of in 2nd Esdras 15, all right, all these coincide, all right, because if you hear you're not being able to go anywhere, you can't go where you please, all right, lack of food. So this chip, all right, is going to be, well, Esau is going to play it off as it's a cure-all, all right. Is it really going to help you? No, it's not going to help you at all. It's actually going to be your death and your destruction. All right, but they're going to play it off as, if you get this thing, you're going to be able to freely. They're going to talk about it a little bit. I think it was in Germany about a QR code. All right, that was implemented. If you didn't have it, you wouldn't be able to go certain places. All right, so this is basically going to coincide with that. All right, you're not going to be able to go where you want to go, but they're going to say, hey, look, with this, if you get this thing, we're going to be able to manage you a lot more, and we can actually get you to places where you're trying to go. You can go where you want to be, all right? And you'll be able to access food reserves, all right, that people without this aren't going to be able to have. And they'll give you some bullshit reason. They might say, we need to be able to track. You need to have the mark because if you don't have it, we won't be able to track food reserves, all right? And we won't be able to know how much to ration to each people. If people get this, we'll know how much each people get, all right? Each person gets, but we can only distribute it between people who have the the CHIP, is what they're going to do things like this, all right? And that all goes back to this is Ecclesiasticus or Sirach, all right? Ecclesiasticus 12:10, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. And another one you can grab is your old physicians of no value. Let's see. Yeah, here it is. Job 13:4. All right. But ye are forgers of lies. Ye are all physicians of no value. All right. And if you've one of my other videos, if you've seen that, we went in on the term of forger. All right. So a forge, all right, is like a big pot of hot coal. All right, that people would make weapons from. All right, and other nails. Doorknobs, all different sorts of things, right? Medieval times, at least, and throughout history. Now, not so much. Now it just goes through a factory and they, press it into metal. This is we can just get the definition. Forge, all right, to make or shape, all right, a metal object by heating it in a fire or furnace and beating or hammering it, all right. So casting it to create, all right. So what this is speaking of when it's saying you're forgers of lies. Here it is, Lakia. It says, when you are forgers of lies, they're creators of lies, all right? These people create lies, all right? Speaking of Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, all right? And I also want to touch on that just because your so-called skin color is, just because your skin color is so-called white, all right, or or some other color, all right, does not necessarily mean you're an Edomite, all right? Just as if you're a so-called brown person doesn't necessarily mean you're an Israelite, all right? It all goes back to heritage, all right? It goes back to your bloodline through your father, all right? So I'm not going to touch on that too much. We've gone into it before, all right? But skin color isn't a 100% determining factor, all right? Before you try to say, oh, that's racist, all right? Because it's not necessarily. You might have some dark-skinned person that actually goes back to Moab, all right, which would be the so-called Chinese. All right, just like you're going to have some white-looking people that go back to Issachar, all right, Issacharite, all right, it might be an Issachar, all right, they could go back to Levi, Benjamin, all right, Judah, so-called Negroes, all right, And go, there's several different things. You can't just go off of skin color, right? Just felt like I would go that out there. But, all right, Esau Edom is the so-called white man, all right? Majority of them are, just as in the majority of Jake is brown, all right? But there are going to be exceptions as well, all right? So you can't just go off of skin color. Ye are forgers of lies, you're all physicians of no value, all right? We know that they're physicians. They ain't going to help you. Their medicines ain't going to help you. And this is basically be passed off as a, let's look up physician. This can basically be passed off as something like that. A person qualified to practice medicine, a medical practitioner, a surgeon, all right? So that basically goes into it. A surgeon, if you look up a surgeon, is basically someone that cuts you open, all right? Surgery, if you look up surgery, surgery is a medical specialty that uses operative, manual, and instrumental techniques on a person to investigate or treat a pathological condition such as disease or injury. All right, let's see. It usually, well, if you look up surgery, all right, it'll usually show someone. Yeah, they're not gonna show a whole. Yeah, see, right here they got them cut open. All right, so they're basically doing a surgery. All right, we got another one here. Basically, what that whole thing is, they're doing a surgery. They're doing a surgery on you. All right, so that's basically it's basically like a physician at that point. All right. So, and we know they're physicians of no values, and we know they're forgers of lies. All right. Once again, Job 13:4. But ye are all forgers of lies. Ye are physicians of no value. All right. Again, you can't trust these people. Like I said, as iron rusted, so is their wickedness. All right. So let's continue on and listen to a little bit more of what he had to say.
People get microchips implanted that include vaccine records amid new COVID restrictions. Now, at the time,
again, Esau, we're not speaking, all right, of this word that's on the screen. I already said it, all right, but we're not speaking of that, all right. This is it. They're using it as an example. We're speaking of the microchip, all right. So, can't say this is medical information because it's out. It's public information right here, all right. This guy's doing it. This guy's doing it on Redacted, all right. He's speaking of it. Why can't I speak on it, all right? If you try to take this video down. If you take this video down, that's some bullshit, all right? That's blatant, that's just bullshit, all right? That's just basically being petty, all right? And that's basically playing favorites, all right? We can't, but they can, all right?
We did this story at the turn of the year when people were saying, yeah, we want to have easier access to these vaccine passports, so we're going to inject them into our hands so that we can walk around, we can take flights easier, and it's going to be so much easier. And the wider trend of inserting the under-the-skin microchips contain personal information has developed over the past few years, gaining popularity in Sweden. People there began using the chips to gain access to their homes, offices, gyms.
Now, another thing I wanted to touch on, they always mention Sweden. All right, one thing I wanted to touch on was, I don't know if it's true or not. All right, take this as a grain of salt. This is coming from my mouth, not from the Bible, so it really don't mean nothing. Down here, there are some people from Sweden. All right, let me see if I can find it. Bear with me. We have someone saying here, Sweden is one of the most secular atheist nations. This is the MOTB, so it makes sense that Sweden would go along with it. All right, that's not the one I was looking for, though. It was let me see. Here, check this out. This person, Nicholas, says, I'm from Sweden and personally haven't heard about anybody getting C-hipped. I saw, however, a report on the news a while back that some people were doing it and how convenient it was. So an agenda of selling the idea to the public, sure. I think it's a bit magnified in how it's being reported in some news outlets abroad, like a lot of people are getting it. Then again, the type of individuals who think this is a good idea and want to get it is not really the type of people I would get along with or wanting to be associated with, so what do I know? However, Swedes having full trust in the government is for sure true. God seems to have been replaced by their government. I feel like a black sheep here with skeptical thinking about everything that goes on. It's hard to talk to people without getting the tinfoil hat label. And this person says right here, this is the one I wanted to touch on. All right, it says also a Swede. I have not heard about this either. Maybe it was pre-programming act that failed. I hope people start to think very soon. All right, so what's being said is, maybe these people aren't in Sweden. Maybe there, you know, a couple, sure, but maybe not a whole lot of people like that. Because in the West, it's been painted that a lot of these Swedes have gotten these chips. All right, and as you hear him talking about, it's a lot of these Swedes have gotten these chips. All right, but it says I've not heard about this either. Maybe it was pre-programming. All right, and pre-programming is basically, you know, all these people are getting it, so why wouldn't you get it? All right, and that could be the case. But again, don't, you know, take that with a grain of salt. That could be, that could not be. All right, they might just not know. All right, but I wanted to touch on that. Now, would that surprise me? Absolutely not. All right, that's just the kind of stuff that Esau does, is pre-programming. All right, saying, look, all these people got it, you know, you should get it. When in reality, a whole bunch of people, you know, didn't get it. All right, but like I said, I don't know. All right, that's just something I read down there that made me think a little bit. All right, so I'm gonna continue playing this video
without any use of their handheld keys. So here is NBC News covering this story in Sweden on these microchips. Watch.
When Elias Brotberger goes to work, he doesn't need ID.
And we've seen lots of
he doesn't need money. In fact,
examples of
much
this.
of what he needs to get through the day is hidden right there, just below the surface, in his hand.
Like to touch it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, weird. Yeah, it's like a grain of rice.
Yeah, a grain of rice.
Embedded in his hand is a microchip that serves as his keys, his ID, and his wallet.
Yeah, it's all on chip, so I use it like to get around the building.
Buy snacks.
All right.
Yeah, exactly.
So again, see how he opened that? He opened the door with it. All right. So if this thing becomes mandatory, which it will, all right, you're not just gonna. There's gonna be doors you're just not gonna be able to open. All right, unless you have it. All right. You want to get inside of the store to go get your food, you better have that. You want to go and get on the bus or you know, get in your car and try to, you know, they might have military. They're probably more than likely, all right, have military stop points where you're gonna have to scan that thing. All right, better have that thing. All right, water, better have that thing. All right, that's the only way you're gonna get it, supposedly. All right, is that true? No, because if you're of the elect, all right. The Most High is going to take care of His people. All right. Now that's how they're gonna make it seem. All right. Is you better have that thing. All right. But it's all trick. It's all trick. All right. And Esau is mad. And if they take this video down, you know, I know I keep on saying it, but if they take it down, it's just more further proof. All right. Just more further proof. All right. And if you don't take it down, guess what? That's more further proof. All right. So you're kind of in a rock and a hard place here. E. Look, your agenda's being it's right here. Right here, and another Edomite, all right, more than likely, all right, who knows, all right, is bringing it out.
Building.
Buy snacks.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so food, you're not going to be able to do that without it.
Then she says, yeah, hey, for the fun of television, let's go buy some snacks. Then they go to the vending machines, and he buys her some snacks, and he's fine with that. And so are Swedes. Again, stop me if you know where this is going. Now we have the story from Sweden where chips implanted from Swedish developers are supporting digital health pass storage under your skin. So see how it slowly starts? Take a look at this.
All right,
it
yeah,
slowly
so
starts.
they're going to try to make it seem appealing because before it becomes mandatory, it's going to be optional. All right, so it's going to be, you know, get this thing and you'll have you won't have to carry around a card, you won't have to carry around medical information, you won't have to carry around your keys. You know, it'll just be one good thing. And we definitely, totally will not track you and know where you are at all times. That's what they're going to basically play it off as.
With the rail.
They've already said that. They've basically said that. I was reading an article. I think one of the lessons I did previously was basically talking about that RFID chips can't be remotely accessed. All right, like on a network, like people are saying, which doesn't make any sense because it's a radio frequency identification device. A radio frequency, we all know, can be accessed over air, so it really doesn't make any sense. All right, now they got these new cloud chips. All right, and those cloud chips are different. They're called like CRFID or something. It's like cloud RFID. Of course, you know, I made a video on it. It's gonna be RFID rain RFID. All right. See, it says RAIN RFID is a passive battery-free wireless technology that connects billions of everyday items to the internet. So you're not going to be able to remotely connect. Bullshit, and it's not just radio anymore, right? These things go items, or which is really you. All right, so you're the item, all right, with the tag. All right, and the readers read them. Software goes to the network. All right, and I'm sure they can program these things all sorts of crazy types of way. If you want to read about it, just look up about RFID and RAIN RFID impinge. All right, impinge. All right, it's gonna speak about it. Of course, it's gonna say items and how many. Look. A RAIN RFID can track and locate up to 1,000 items per second without direct line of sight. All right, what do you think that's going to be used for? They're passing this off as a technology that's used to track objects and be used in storehouses and stuff to track goods. What the hell do you think this is going to be used for? All right, it's right here on the page. All right, impinge. You go to impinge.com. Just type in impinge. All right, and then type in RAIN RFID. You're going to find about it. I stumbled across it one time on accident, or well, it really was an accident. It was more likely Yahweh Shai directed me towards it. But I wasn't even trying to look for a RAIN RFID. I think I was looking something up about RFID, and I found about RAIN. So when they say it's all radio technology and all that, that's just radio waves. All right, no, now it can be connected to the cloud, all right, which is the internet. So got that one on you. All right, so chip implants from Sweden.
Railway passage, then it goes to healthcare, and now it's going to be even more for vaccines. And then again, here's the latest story overnight out of China, which is China unifying their health system. Basically, here's how Hong Kong's new China-inspired health code would work, and the Chinese government now basically unifying all of their health databases, so they'll be able to scan your vaccine passports, and
unified data
goes
means
to the
it's all in
main
one
central hub. So they're able to track and know exactly everything that you're doing. Basically unifying all of their health databases, so they'll be able to scan your vaccine passports, and it instantly goes to the main central hub. So they're able to track and know exactly everything that you're doing at all times. Would you guys opt for this? What do you guys think about this?
And this isn't just for those vax passes. This isn't just for that. All right, like I said, we aren't even really speaking of the vaccine. We aren't even dealing with that. All right, we're speaking of this chip. All right, so they're gonna say, "Oh, this passport or this." It has a way. It has a very larger broadband of what it does than just that. All right, that's just what continues to get spoken of. All right, you got to get past that. All right, this has bigger potential. It's not just you think they're just going to use this thing just for your vax passport. That's not true. All right, we're not even dealing with that. All right, we're speaking of the broader spectrum. All right, what's going to happen with these things, and it's actually coming up. He's going to speak of it.
I mean, if you're in Sweden, maybe, right? I mean,
we're going to skip what she has to say because I don't really give a shit what she has to say. She's trying to make it seem, if you're in Sweden, really, maybe, but you don't trust, she's trying to make it seem like, oh, it could be good. No, it couldn't be good anyway. It could not be good. If the government, if you could trust the government, it would be, no, it would not. No, it would not. All right, we don't care what you have to say. All right.
Would have done. I mean, they tried, but it just didn't work out.
Let's see.
In many areas, if they had the ability to move to that digital pass, restrictions on you could only go to work.
Actually, here, yeah, she does have one good thing to say here, and this is where I want to touch on it.
XYZ, you can't. We're going under lockdown. You're not allowed to do anything. And the COVID passes. So, I can understand why Swedes say, why not? There's nothing to fear. Well, they might not have anything to fear with their government. But many of us do. The governments that were implementing mandates and saying you can't do X, Y, Z, you can't.
This part, she does have a point on. All right, this is the part one of the parts I wanted to touch on.
Going under lockdown, you're not allowed to travel. And I even know in Russia,
all right,
I have some Russian friends that when they went into lockdown, they had QR codes that were installed on their phones, and the QR code would indicate whether or not they were allowed to go a certain distance on the subway. Wow. So because they had like restrictions on you could only go to work, only if you worked in certain essential sectors. And so they actually use those QR codes on their phones in order to restrict, and people just were like, I guess I'm going to have to walk.
Again, that's second address 15 and 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. All right.
Where I want to go. So, and that, of course, in many areas, if they had the ability to move to that digital pass, on the phones, they would have done. I mean, they tried, but it just didn't work out here in the United States.
So why do you think that is? Let's go back and hear what she had to say right at the end.
Many areas, if they had the ability to move to that digital pass on the phones, they would have done. I mean, they tried, but it just didn't work out here in the United States.
Just didn't work out. Now, you got to realize that things like our credit cards, debit cards, phones, all right, all have some sort of technology that either is RFID or is very similar to RFID, all right? Then you got the contactless payment, all right? You got like, what do they call it? They call it the chip cards, all right? Basically, those were like the start. All right, you got the chip in your card. You do chip or swipe. No, you don't swipe your card anymore. All right, the only cards you really swipe anymore is if you get one of those like weird prepaid Visa cards. All right, because they don't have it. All right, because they're trying to keep it as cheap as possible. But a lot of these cards have these chips in it. Now those have to be inserted, all right, into the reader to read it. Now what they've got now, all right, is if you got the newer cards, they've been out for maybe like a year or two. They haven't been out for too long. They're the wireless, all right? You got the little Wi-Fi symbol on your card, and you don't even have to insert it into the reader, all right? You don't have to put the chip into the reader. You don't have to swipe it or anything. You can just hover it above the screen, all right? Or sometimes you actually, they don't work that great, and you have to actually basically tap to the screen. You might as well just put the damn thing in the reader at that point. But that's a precursor to that type of technology. All right, in your phone, if you've ever used, if it doesn't matter if you have an Android phone or an Apple phone. All right, personally, I have an Apple phone. All right, as I believe most people do. All right, you got Apple Pay. All right, and you can basically hover your phone above the thing. You tap your fingerprint on it. All right, I think you could probably do it without fingerprint. I think it's usually locked by your fingerprint. You hold your fingerprint on your little fingerprint reader on your phone, and then you hover it above the little device, and it'll go ching, and then it'll do your transaction that way. All right, and if same thing with Google Pay. All right, if you have Google Pay, and I use Apple Pay. All right, because that's it's convenient, but that's what they're gonna basically sell you this thing as. It's something convenient. All right, well now you don't even have to take your phone out. You don't have to hold your finger over a fingerprint scanner. You can just wave your arm over it. Hell no. All right. Hell no. And that question is because they're always talking about, well, we need to do this. Well, if we already have the technology to do it on our phones, if I can already Apple Pay with my phone, why do I need some type of device, all right, implanted to be able to do that? If it's already on our phone, what makes it so much more convenient to have it in your arm than to have it on your phone? And they're gonna say, well, you have to take your phone with you. Everybody takes their phone with them. All right. Well, you can leave the house with nothing. If you leave the house with nothing, guess what? You're still gonna bring your damn phone because you need to contact people. So it doesn't make sense not to just have it in your phone. All right. Why couldn't the phone just be used for this? All right. It's again with Esau's lies. Esau's bullshit. All right. Because even if you had the chip, all right, the mark, you're still gonna take your goddamn phone out the house. Why? Because you need to contact people. All right. You're not gonna contact people with an implant in your arm. All right. It doesn't have no buttons on it. All right, you're not going to be able to, dial up your wife and call her. That's not how it works. All right, so you're gonna have to take a phone. So the point of the chip should be null. All right, it should just be thrown out because there's no point in having that if you already have a phone that has all the same technologies that can do it on it. But it all goes back to Esau's grand scheme. They're gonna try to say something, or I wouldn't be surprised if they made these phones fucking invalidated. All right, that they somehow shut off these phone lines. Or phones aren't even available in the end times, all right? And you just have to have a chip or something. I don't know how they're going to do it, all right? But either way, it's you can see how it's bullshit. It doesn't add up, all right? Just like most of Esau's stuff, all right? It doesn't add up, all right? If you have the technologies in your phone, why the hell would you need to get implanted in you, all right? With phones, more convenient, all right? Because you can do a lot more things on it. You can search the internet, all right? You can call your friends. You can play games on it, all right? You can watch videos on it, and it can do all those things, and you can pay on it, all right? And it's not cash money, all right? It's digital currency, all right? So what? I don't, your shit don't add up, E.
The United States, but yeah, I mean, obviously that's where that microchip is headed. But on the flip side, there's a lot of people who would love it. People that are older, they can't remember their medical records when their doctors say, "Hey."
All right, again, she's trying to pass it off as for older people. I feel like even though she's talking against it, she has this. I'm gonna say this chick right here. She's gonna get the shit. She's gonna get the shit. All right. She's gonna get the mark. All right. The way she's talking about herself, you don't trust your government, but it could, it would sound like, it could be convenient, but if you don't trust your government, and the old people, it'd be good for if they can't remember their medical records, but the government, you're gonna get that shit. All right. So all that distrust from the government that you really have. All right. You so-called, just in general heathen nations. All right. You're gonna get that shit. All right, there's going to be people that don't. All right, there are going to be people among the nations that don't get it. But this woman right here, man, I feel like she's going to get the shit. At the end of the day, I don't know. But the way she's kind of romanticizing it, but saying, oh, like, no, but the government's the bad part of the government. But the whole other thing, no, the whole chip is bad in general. All right.
Hey, what medicines are you on, and what are your recent, what have you done lately? And they're like, I don't know, check my chip. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess you could see that, right?
Sure, I can see of all kinds of useful things if you trust the
See, she's Megan's like, well, it's useful. This guy, he's like, I guess, whatever.
ecosystem. And it's not just trusting the government of Sweden, though. We now know that all governments hack each other for the
Yeah, again, I want to hear what the guy has to say.
heads of state in other
Basically,
countries.
she's just speaking of that they hack. These governments, United States hacks Russia, Russia hacks United States, go back and forth. What's keeping them from hacking into your chip, all right, and getting the information, and then what? And then you have to go and get a new chip? That's basically what she said, all right, fast forwarding through that.
Because of the frequency. Like, can you imagine what an acupuncturist would say about, like,
This
sort
grain of rice that has
Yeah, she was speaking
toxic. So we're gonna put
heads of state in
Right.
other countries. So,
Yeah.
if you're Swedish, that's fine. But
She's
you're
basically speaking about that she couldn't wear an Apple Watch when she was pregnant because of the frequencies, and how much more so with these chips.
government doesn't find an exploit.
Well, I have so many questions too about, like, okay, what's in these chips, right? We know, rare earth minerals that are, we don't even have recycling programs for them because they're so toxic. So we're going to put that inside of our bodies.
Right. I want to ask. Remember our acupuncturist, Dr. Butler, who said when I was pregnant, he said you shouldn't wear the Apple Watch because of the frequency. Like, can you imagine what an acupuncturist would say about, like,
This
sort
grain of rice that has.
They tell you to get it is what they'd say.
Right. My next thought went completely sci-fi and thought, well, can it teach me Cantonese? Can it, like that?
And then you again, because if it could if it did teach you Cantonese, would you get it? You'd get the shit, wouldn't you? Anyway.
Them to do that, but I know they are working on that. They are working on microchips that would go in your brain. But again,
they already got 'em.
everything to help prevent illnesses.
Movement back to cash. I used to be very pro, hey, get rid of cash. Cash is trash. That used to be something I used to say because I'm an investor and I believe in, in passive income and buying actual assets. But when the actual physical cash started to get vilified by governments, right? That there's COVID on their paper money. Don't use cash. Go to digital. Go contactless.
No, what he said. Now listen, that's all part of the scheme. It's all part of the damn scheme. That isn't a coincidence. That was foreshadowing. All right. That's the Esau uses these things as kind of like a little push and a shove. All right, get you on that swing, give you a little push. Like, all right, go on out there. Getting you ready. All right, so to speak. And they're like, okay, well, we need to vilify, or basically to make bad. All right, cash money, coins, paper. All right, paper money. We need to make it look bad. So how do we do that? All right. Well, coincidentally, there's this giant situation that's ravaging the earth. All right. We're just gonna say that's getting on the money. All right, and we got to get rid of it. All right, a little too coincidental and it works out too good for Esau. All right, if you think about it. All right, so now remember they said they got and then what they tried to do, they tried to get all the money back. All right, so you wouldn't just have it laying around. So you wouldn't be able to have it laying around. Remember they said they're running out of coins. Some places were running out of bills, I think. All right, I remember mostly hearing coins, but there was a coin shortage. What the fuck happened to the coin shortage? Y'all remember that? What happened to the coin shortage? I remember places were desperate they couldn't give you change back, all right, and certain you had to have exact change and all this, so you got to think. They wanted to get that back, and then on top of that, after that, what did they want to do? They That was the first wave, and then they started saying, oh, we need to get away from paper money because it spreads through paper money. All right, we prefer contactless payment methods. All right, so is that adding up? Is that adding up? Is that ringing bells? Is that you? Because right now it should be going ding 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 ding. It should be fucking ringing a whole bunch of alarms. All right. Let's read. What do we want to read? All right, again, let's Revelation 13 and 17. We'll read 17. All right, no, we'll just read it from the top again. All right, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, small and great. All right, big in stature, low in stature, rich and poor. Wealth and abundance and no wealth, free and bond. All right, people that are free. All right, and people in captivity to receive. All right, so all these people. All right, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. All right, boom, get it. Is it sticking, to you? 17, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of his beast or the name of the beast, Salakia, or the number of his name. All right, so you ain't gonna be able to walk into Walmart and get no food. You ain't gonna be able to walk down to the corner market and get you a pack of Phillies. You ain't gonna be able to fucking go and take your car down to the Chevron and fill it up with gas. All right, let alone take that same car, all right, down the street if you don't have that thing. None of that's gonna work. None of that's gonna work. All right, how are they gonna do it? I don't know. All right, but they're gonna have. I would not be surprised if they have checkpoints. All right, government checkpoints. All right, we've seen it happen with the pandemic. All right, we've seen it happen. Them had certain places had basically when lockdown, you had to basically be out for work or nothing else. All right, and so that they're going to implement that again. If you want to go past this place, you want to enter out from one city to another, guess what? You better have that thing ready to be scanned, or you're not getting out. All right, or going to the food, anything you're trying to do, you're not going to be able to do it unless you have this. Is how they're going to market it as. All right, and you're not going. In general, you're not going to be able to walk in Walmarts if you don't have that, and other places like that. All right. A lot of places are already going contactless, all right, without people in them. You got the Amazon, I think it's Amazon Go. All right, if you look up Amazon Go, take it away and get back to your day. All right, and they got look at that, a cute little slogan. All right, it's a bunch of bullshit. All right, and they don't have too many of them yet. All right, they're testing them, but do we have a see, scan to enter? Look, scan to enter in tap. So you got to have the Amazon app. All right, where you go boop and it scans. Again, bringing to mind, if we have this technology, why the fuck, all right, does a chip need to be implanted? All right, it's just more of Esau's lies. All right, the technology, you could already, do all this stuff on your phone, but they want to get it implanted in you. Why? Because you can throw your phone away, all right, and not be tracked through it. All right, I mean, you can't really get rid of a chip implant that easy. All right, we don't know. Well, what if you just tear it? We don't know if they're gonna have anti-tampering measures where you fucking try to pull that shit out, something happens. Scan to enter, tap the in-store code in the Amazon app, and then you get to take what you want. All right, and put it back. You have cameras watching you at all times. All right, and they'll know if you put something back or drop it or all this stuff. So it's just we're on to you, Esau. We're on to you. All right. So, but guess what? All right, the people that don't take this, all right, that are of the elect, all right, that Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is dealing with, guess what? They're gonna eat. They're going to have drink, all right, and they're going to still be safe, all right, and they're going to be able to get wherever they need to get if Yahweh Hashem Yahushai wants them to get those things or get to where they need to go, all right. So this whole Esau system, throw it down the goddamn drain because it's a bunch of shit, all right. It's a bunch of shit. They're not going to be able to, and eventually what they're going to do is they're just going to have to start killing people, all right, because that's just how it's going to go, all right. This situation that Esau is going to, it ain't going to work out to the best of their ability. All right, because why? Because Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is going to come back and dead these people. All right, so they're going to try this, and this is prophesied. This is going to happen. All right, this is going to happen. This didn't already happen. This is going to happen. All right, everything that you're seeing in this verse, all right, and in Revelation 13, 16 through 18 is going to happen. It is true. It's not a fantasy. It's not a fairy tale. It is going to happen. All right, and if you don't believe it, boy, are you in for a sword of destruction, all right? And we're going to grab 2nd Esdras 15 and 19. Actually, no, we're going to grab this one more time. 15 and 17. 2nd Esdras 15 and 17. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, all right? So unless you have that chip. All right, unless you have that chip, that's how they're gonna sell it to you. All right, what's gonna happen if you get this thing? All right, and you know what? We're basically gonna
laptop. One of my concerns is like
To your bot, people from
we're gonna basically just cut it there. All right, we should just cut it there. We got most of the, if you want it, you can go and look up the Apostle Tahar's video. It's here. GMS was always right, and he'll have the link. All right, so go watch the Apostle's video. All right. What was I saying? Yeah, so we're gonna basically close out on that. All right, we got the information. If you want to finish it up, all right, the Apostle's got the link for you. All right, so go over to his page. All right, check it out. Give him a, oh yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Before we do that, all right.
So I want to ask. I'll ask all.
We're gonna read top comment from here. All right, stay strong, people. Don't take the mark. All right, top comment. All right, and everybody down here, as they're saying, they're not with it. A lot of these people are actually gonna end up getting it too. You got to constantly pray you don't get that thing, man, because you don't know how it's going to be. We all say that we won't get it, but man, you got to be prayed up. You got to stay prayed up and really pray, because you don't know. All right. So let's read Revelation 19 and 19 and 19 and 20. All right, and what's going to happen if you take that thing? All right, verse 19. And I saw the beast, all right, NATO and the EU, and the kings of the earth, and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse and against his army. All right, so you got him that sat on the horse is speaking of Yahushai. All right, and his army is the chariots and angels. All right, and basically the beast, NATO, their systems basically their military. All right, their angels is basically their military. All right, and the beast, all right, NATO with the EU, was taken, and with him the false prophet, all right, the Roman Catholic Church, that wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them. Deceived. What does deceive mean? What does it mean to deceive someone? To cause some to believe something that is not true, typically in order to gain some personal advantage. All right, a hoodwink, defraud, to dupe, to bamboozle. All right, a lot of y'all gonna get bamboozled. All right, fun word to say, bamboozled. All right, so but it's serious. All right, this is serious. All right, jokes aside. All right, it's not really a joking matter. All right, these people are gonna get deceived. All right, they're gonna pass this off as, oh, you're gonna be able to eat, you're gonna be able to drink, you're gonna go. It's gonna be a bamboozle situation. All right, you're gonna be deceived. All right, it's not gonna be true. All right, with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast, and them that worshipped his image. These both, Slakia, were cast alive into the lake of fire, burning with brimstone. What is the lake of fire? Lake of fire. That's that ICBM, intercontinental ballistic missile fire that's going down. All right, that heat. All right. All right, Slakia. I was seeing that the apostles after camp lesson went live. I always miss their when they're live. I never get a notification for it, even though I put notifications for their page. I put if you go and all, like right here, do the all. I don't know. They mess with you. They don't want you seeing it. All right, but for some reason I always get the after camp, but they never let me see the apostles. I don't know why. So yeah, the lake of fire, burning with brimstone. Speaking of that ICBM, the intercontinental ballistic missile fire. All right, this place, Babylon the Great. All right, America, all right, is going to be set on fire. All right, by those nukes. If you don't believe it, don't believe it. If you can receive it, receive it. All right, if you don't, you don't. All right, I'm not gonna stand over here and beat it into your head. None of us are. All right, nobody that's teaching the word is going to beat it over your head. If you don't get it, don't get it. Move on. All right, you'll find out. You'll find out in the end. You'll see it with your own two eyes. So Revelation 14:8 through 14:11. All right, Salakia. All right, it reads again. Speaking of what happens if you get that thing, do not get that thing. And that thing we're speaking of is the RFID chip. All right, Esau. Not speaking of the VAX. All right, we're not speaking of that. All right, we're speaking of the RFID chip. So if you're talking about medical misinformation, where's the information? Where's the misinformation coming from? Please tell me where the misinformation is coming from. All right, Revelation 14:8 through 14:11. And there followed another angel, saying, Babylon, America, is fallen, that great city, because she made all nations drink the wine of the wrath of her fornications. All right, so all nations have drank of her wrath. That's why the wine of her wrath. All right, so that's why you see all these nations. Basically, all these nations are miniature Babylon the Greats. All right, you have Babylon do one thing, and another nation's going to do it. All right, Babylon does one thing, and they're going to do another thing. All right, they make they say Babylon says you can only call the sky pink now. All the other nations are going to say you can only call the sky pink. All right, they make it to where you can only drink, you can only drink orange juice on a Thursday. All these nations are going to make it to where you can only drink orange juice on a Thursday. All right, they say, it's okay for, I'm not going to get all into, these people can marry to the, the same people. I'm talking about the alphabet crew. All right, and then these other places are going to say, that's okay, we're going to do that. But it's always Babylon the Great, America, that instigates these things. All right. They're working with all these other nations, all right, and with their kings, all right. That's why you see all this intermingling between Babylon and Moab, all right, and Ammon, all right, and North Korea and all that, all right, China, and there followed another angel, saying, Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she made all nations drink the wine of the wrath of her fornication, all right. So in fornication, all right, and this page, man, I swear, if you get fornication, it's probably going to give us the wrong definition. Sexual intercourse between people not married together, and that's not the definition we're looking for. All right, let's prove the point. All right, I'm gonna grab. You know what? There's two different fornication. All right, there's two different definitions for fornication. All right, there's what just happened. Alright, see this one. No, I don't want that. Man, come on now. Another one, bear with me. I believe there's two definitions. Two different ones, I believe, for fornication. Or is it profane? I might be getting confused with profane. Zana, alright, is it saying Zana? Let's see.
Strong's H2181. Zana.
Alright. To act as a harlot, alright, to commit adultery, alright, to be unfaithful, alright, to the Most High, alright, so, alright, to fornication, alright, basically, continuing on, alright, so, made all nations drink the wine of the wrath for fornication, alright, basically her whoredom, alright, whore is someone that gets with, a woman that gets with a lot of men. All right, that's one definition of it. All right, so it's basically, a what's the word, man? Not a simile, a comparison. All right, I can't remember the word for it. All right, I'm just gonna move on. I can't remember the name of it. All right, my mind's drawing a blank. Alright, so verse 9, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image and receive his mark on the forehead or in his hand. Alright, so if anybody does that, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, Yahweh, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. Indignation means righteous anger. Alright, that's why you gotta watch the apostles. You get that brain work going on, alright? Not saying I'm anything special, I'm just telling you should watch, the apostles have a lot of information. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb being Yahushai. Alright, and the smoke of their torment ascended up forever and ever, And they have no rest day nor night who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. So it's not going to be pretty. Are you going to burn literally forever and ever and ever and ever? No. It's going to feel like a very long time, all right? Just like it was said that Sodom and Gomorrah burned forever and ever. Is it still burning? Is there a giant place of sulfur and brimstone or sulfur burning to this day? No. All right, but it's extremely long time. It's going to feel like forever. All right, it's not going to be pretty. It's not going to, oh, I burned a little bit. Ooh, it was bad. No, it's going to be terrible. All right, but, you know, if you don't heed this warning, you don't heed this warning. If you heed it, you heed it, all right? If you have the, you know, the ability to receive this information through Yahweh Shem Yahushai, because really that's the only way you're going to get any of this, all right, is if it's been given to you through the knowledge and the power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai has blessed you with it, all right? But a lot of you people don't have it. It's locked to you, all right? Revelation 14:8, and there followed, didn't we already... You already got this. Slacky. Alright. Now, we're going to close out with Psalms 55 and 21 and Revelation 12 and 12. Alright, dealing with E. Alright, because it's lucky. Oh, alright, it's lucky. You're going to have E. Alright, we're dealing with this at the end. Alright. You got to watch out for these people, alright, because these people, alright, as you heard in the video, all right, by Redacted, all right, now they weren't saying it, all right. Well, some of these people, some of those women were trying to pass it off as it could be, you know, good if the government wasn't involved in it, all right, and it's a satanic device, would never be good even if the government wasn't involved in it. It's bad. It's inherently wicked, all right. These people, all right, the people putting out these articles where you're going to be able to access, you know, stores, and you're going to open your car, and it's going to be convenient. All right, you're now, all of this, all right, Psalms 55 and 21, the words of his mouth being Esau Edom, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. All right, so Esau Edom's going to tell, you know, this can interface with your computer. You're going to be able to do this, and this. You're going to be able to have this. You know, we're going to give you food, and you're going to, you know, shelter and all this other stuff, and it's going to sound really good. Why is that? It's because the words of his mouth were smoother than butter. All right, but war was in his heart. All right, meaning really, Esau Edom has an ulterior motive. All right, his motive, he's the wicked. He is the wicked. All right, the devil that the Bible speaks of. All right. And he's not going to help you with anything, all right? He's not going to give you anything that could help you, all right? So he's going to make it seem like he would, but in reality, he's not going to help you with a damn thing, all right? The only person that can help you with anything, all right, is Yahweh Shem Yahushai, all right? And Yahweh Shem Yahushai is only dealing with a specific portion of people, notably the elect of the nation of Israel, all right? He's not even dealing with all of Israel, all right? 2/3 of Israel has to be cut off and die, all right? So Esau Edom's going to make this thing sound, you know, appealing, and that it's going to be good. It's all bullshit. Do not buy it, all right? Because, like it says, his words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. Drawn swords. He's going to, you know, got the fingers crossed behind the back, all right? He's going to, you know, reach out and hand you something good, but behind his back, he's got, you know, a big-ass sword waiting to cut you down and slay you down, all right? So you can't trust these people. These people aren't to be trusted. What have they ever been able to be trusted at? You know, we keep on finding out about lies upon lies upon lies. All right, all these declassified CIA documents, and those are the ones that they just don't really give a shit about. All right, what about all the still classified CIA documents that they don't want you knowing about at all? All right, you know the Israelites are in some of those CIA pages. All right, and we already got some that have come out, like Project Megiddo. All right, you got Operation. What is it? Let's see. I'll be able to. It's You got Project Megiddo. Other ones are drawing a blank. All right, there's a couple more. I can't remember at the top of my head now. But, you know, that's why I got notes. I got notes where I could go and find those. It says, therefore rejoice. All right, now this is Revelation 12 and 12. All right, and we're currently, all right, in the beginning stages. All right, light version of Jacob's trouble. It hasn't fully kicked off yet. All right, but we're in the beginning stages of it. All right. And and if you're wondering where I got that information from, that comes straight from the apostles. All right, there was a Apostle Gabar, Slakia, other Apostle Gabar was talking about it. All right, we're technically in late Jacob's trouble right now. All right, has it fully kicked off? No. All right, we'll know. You'll know when it kicks off. All right, but all these things are going to start speeding up. All right, we already got time speeding up. We already got, I need to make a lesson on that. We've got several articles on my phone. 2 specifically, speaking of Earth is spinning too fast. The consequences for timekeeping may be unprecedented. All right, and scientists baffled as Earth spins faster than usual. All right, the Most High is speeding up time. All right, so there's very little time for these elites. All right, these Rockefellers. All right, these Weinsteins. All right, these big league banking families. The Rockefellers. The my brain don't want to work on me with the names today. The Rockefellers. The for some reason it doesn't want to come to me. All right, but that's gonna bug the hell out of me. The Rockefellers. The who's the other one? Damn, I always forget them. Bear with me. I do a deep dive in the brain. It's gonna drive me crazy here. Give me a minute. Those ain't it. Let's see, bear with me. They're not going to give you the real ones. You got like the Rothschilds. I didn't see it, but the Rothschilds, that's what I was thinking of. The Rothschilds. Alright, banking families. If you look at banking families. Rothschilds, are you going to have a lot of these, the Wahlbergs, alright, Rockefeller, what else do you got, those are big names, alright, but the big league banking family, alright, those elite, alright, are going to know that they don't have a very long time to implement this new world order, alright, so what are they going to do? They're going to come down on you hard, alright, fast, alright, brutally, alright, death, rubbing people apart, alright, martial law, all that, alright. This is Revelation 12:12. Therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth, and woe means destruction. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. Alright, so these people know, alright, that they don't have a short time left. So as we get closer and closer to the end, alright, this implementing of the chip, alright, it's going to get worse and worse and worse, alright. So you need to stay prayed up, repent if you haven't yet, alright. You really need to be, you need to know these things, alright, or else you're going to get caught up in Satan's devices, alright. It's not somewhere you want to be, alright. So stay prayed up, alright, repent. Alright, we're almost out of here. Alright, so with that, I want to close out. Once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakak Wadash. I want to give double honors and apostles to the elders of Great Millstone that taught me this truth and rule well. And I want to say shalom to you brothers and sisters out there that are pursuing this truth diligently. Slakia. And until the next one, Lord willing, shalom.